I now call upon Anne Sazewski of the Faculty of Education, Health and Wellbeing to present Dr. Rashid Gatrad for the conferment of an honorary degree of Doctor of Science.
Vice-Chancellor, I am honoured to present to you Professor Gatrad, OBE, Consultant Paediatrician and Chief Executive of Midland International Aid Trust, on whom the Board of Governors and Academic Board wish to confer an honorary degree of Doctor of Science. Professor Gatrad was born in Malawi, Africa. He was educated in Zimbabwe, Harrow, and started his medical career after he graduated from the University of Leeds in 1971. And still today, he makes significant contribution to healthcare. Professor Gatrad has 44 years' experience in the NHS, including 34 years as a consultant paediatrician at the Walsall Manor Hospital, and is an honorary professor of paediatrics and child health at the Universities of Wolverhampton and Kentucky, USA. His appointment to the Manor Hospital carried the responsibility of tackling high death rates of newborn babies in the first weeks of life. With the help of the team that he built around him, he halved the mortality rate over a 5-year period. Professor Gatrad holds a Silver National Award for Clinical Excellence, and he has worked with national experts on several projects, including one to decrease the burden of meningitis amongst travellers. He has also worked as part of a team which formed the basis of the National Hepatitis B vaccine programme and is a world expert in differential growth of children from different cultures. He has appeared on many TV programmes discussing subjects varying from whooping cough prevention to normal and abnormal development of children, and has produced health promotion videos for the Department of Health on subjects including prevention of German measles and the dangers of an eye makeup regularly used in Oriental children called Surma, which has subsequently been banned in the UK. These are truly wonderful achievements and an inspiration to others, but that is not all. Returning to the start of Professor Gatrad's career, I quote from the Doctor's Creed that he has posted on his website as food for thought for doctors. This reads, "Having assumed the noble art of a physician, we should see before us a path of service and dedication to humanity." This quote could be applied to any of the awards conferred today from the Institute of Public Health, Social Work and Social Care. We need only look to Professor Gatrad's charitable work to see how this has been lived out throughout his career. In 1977, Professor Gatrad took a sabbatical and went to work at the Malambi Catholic Mission in Lunzu, Malawi. As he had anticipated being the only doctor, he had trained himself in the UK in common surgical procedures such as caesarean sections, dealing with ectopic pregnancies, anaesthetics, and some orthopaedic procedures. He was later appointed as a medical director to this hospital. He played cricket most weekends and even represented Malawi in the international games, chosen mainly for his seam medium fast bowling. Those who are cricket fans can be thankful that Professor Gatrad was not available to take the call from the Australia cricket team at the recent Edgbaston cricket match. Otherwise, we may have seen a very different outcome. As Chief Executive of the charity Midland International Aid Trust, over the last 15 years, he has set up abroad a cleft lip and palate centre, arguably the best in the world, breast care service for women, artificial limb fitting centre, cataract centres, hearing services for the newborn, dental services, and heart surgery for children, the latter being in South Africa. He's in the process of completing a huge maternity and children's hospital named after his mother in Gujarat. Professor Gatrad's humanitarian work extends to 15 countries, including Somalia, Malawi, Gambia, Syria, Bangladesh, and more recently Nepal, where he provided 1,000 huts after the recent earthquake, and only 2 weeks ago was involved in a humanitarian mission in Sri Lanka and already planning for his next venture. Professor Gatrad has also been instrumental in building orphanages for which he raises money to support the children with food, accommodation and education. Professor Gatrad is also a prolific writer and has over 80 peer-reviewed publications and has co-authored 2 books, both of which were launched to great acclaim in the House of Lords on the subjects of caring for Muslim patients, which was given a foreword by His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, and palliative care for South Asians. For his innovations in healthcare that included improving access for children into hospitals and improving care of ethnic minority children through provision of a paediatric assessment unit, one of the first in the country, he was awarded the Order of the British Empire by the Queen in 2002. And in 2014, he received the Freedom of the Borough of Warsaw, the highest accolade that can be awarded by a borough. In February this year, he was awarded the prestigious role of Deputy Lieutenant for the West Midlands to support Her Majesty the Queen. Professor Gatrad is very modest about his achievements, and he frequently states that these would not have been possible without the help of so many people, especially the support of his family, and in particular his wife Valerie, whom we also welcome here today. Vice-Chancellor, it is my privilege to present to you Professor Gatrad, OBE, for an honorary degree of a Doctor of Science of the University of Wolverhampton, which is given in recognition of his continued services provided to the university, for his achievements in improving the health and well-being of so many children, locally, nationally, and internationally, and for his humanitarian work.
Get my papers in order, sorry. Yeah, it seems a little bit daunting to be here today, but there was a time when I was sitting there many, many years ago. Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, in congratulating you all in your fantastic achievements today, the graduates, I'm mindful of the fact that all this achievement would not have been possible without the help of your teachers, your tutors, your lecturers, and your professors. However, the education that you have got has only taught you how to make a living, but not how to live. This will come from the total sum of your experiences through life, where you will meet different people and encounter different challenges. And hopefully some of you will go on to do things that are beyond what I would call outstanding. So from my point of view, what makes a successful graduate? It is not always brilliance, and there'll be the firsts here and 2 ones. It is not always the brilliance, and often the arrogance that goes with it. It is the respect from your peers, and in turn the respect that you yourself get from them. You have to accept and acknowledge from time to time that you will be wrong. And what is most important in life is to be able to know what not to do. More often than not, we are able to say, yes, I will do this. But that other bit that I mentioned is very, very important. You will work in different organizations, and every one of you will work in industry, perhaps. You might work in schools, might work in hospitals. But the important thing is that you have to respect your bosses, and indeed you have to respect everybody, including the person that cleans your toilet. And we've got to remember that in any organization, and let's take the example of a screw missing from a jet engine. If that screw is missing from a jet engine, the whole jumbo jet can come down. Of course, we will have our differences. And this, I think, is healthy and is expected. And it needs to be debated and resolved in a satisfactory fashion. I believe that enjoyment in your careers that you have chosen is paramount, and I hope that you have chosen careers that you want it to be and not coerce into. But making a living out of it, I believe, is a bonus. On our journey, always look at how far you have come. Facing your past without regret, and handling the present confidently with no fear of the future. In all this, sometimes, and I quote, you must hurt in order to know, fall in order to grow, lose in order to gain. Most of life's lessons are learned through experience such as this. At times, our inadequacies are due to a combination of personal and societal factors, such as lack of ambition, inability or unwillingness to utilize opportunities that are available to us, and perhaps a society that encourages excuses and traps us into a vicious circle whereby we lose our own self-belief. That should not happen. You as graduates of today and leaders of tomorrow will, I hope, change this. And what's more, help open doors for other people who have not had the opportunity to do what you are doing today. And indeed go further and help shine a light in the corners of the world where misery lurks. Majority of the world's population, as we know, is poor. So you've got diseases of poverty. Such poverty is responsible for diseases such as tuberculosis, malaria, malnutrition, which has got its own problems. Now, if in some way, some of you or many of you were to get involved, just as the Vice-Chancellor said earlier, you could actually help improve all this and help the world in a holistic sort of sense. And it is, from my personal point of view as a pediatrician, it hurts me when I find and hear that globally 1 baby dies every 4 seconds. And 1 million babies die within the first 24 hours of life, because that is something we can change. We in the UK, on the other hand, have diseases of plenty. We have got, and we have to only look around us, obesity, problems of alcohol, smoking, and really a sedentary life. A lot of us do have that. But I do know one thing. Yes, we have to make a living. But from time to time, as human beings, who have, relatively speaking, plenty, we owe it to people around the world to help them with our effort and time, if nothing else. And what about our parents in all this? Many of you have inspired and guided us and helped us achieve this dream. There are not enough days in a lifetime to say thank you to them. They gave us many things in life, great and small, but above all, they gave us love. Love is the greatest thing that anybody could give you. Because they loved, we have learned to love. So never forget them as they get older and you get busier and get older yourselves by bringing up your families and looking after your children. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I accept this huge accolade from the University of Wolverhampton with pride and say to you all that we must always count our blessings that we have got so far in our lives safe and generally healthy. To be present here to witness this moment. I pray for a healthy future for all of you, and that you will individually, collectively, benefit your families, and indeed, in the wider sense, mankind. Thank you.